Hi, welcome back to Night After Night. Say, do you kids like music? Oh, I feel like Dick Clark on American Bandstand. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to Night After Night one of the hottest musical groups around, the Smithereens.
1, 2, 3, go! I want you to know about my indigo. I want you to see just what she's done to me. I'm talking to myself again, talking to the wall. I've lost my self-respect again, got nothing at all. And then it starts all over again. And then it starts all over again. I want you to know just what she's done to me. I want it all told the way it was meant to be. I'm talking to myself again and no one at all. I'm losing my mind again, 'cause of nothing at all. And then it starts all over again. And then it starts all over again. Here we go, baby, here we go. Indigo, baby, indigo. Here we go, baby, here we go. Indigo, baby, indigo. And then it starts all over again. Here we go, baby, here we go. And then it starts all over again. Here we go, baby. I want you to know, baby, here we go, about my indigo, baby, indigo. I want you to see, baby, just what she's done to me, what she's done to me. I'm talking to myself again, here we go, and no one at all. I'm losing my mind again, 'cause of nothing at all, nothing at all. And then it stops all over again. Here we go, baby, here we go. And then it stops all over again. Here we go, baby, indigo. And then it stops all over again. Here we go, baby, here we go. And then it stops all over again. Here we go, baby. All over again. Here we go, baby. All right, here we go.
The Smithereens will be right back after this. Good job. Terrific. Hi, welcome back to Night After Night. I'm here with two of the members of the group you just saw, the Smithereens. With me are guitarist, vocalist Jim Babjack and Pat Denizio. How you guys doing?
Good to meet you again, Alan.
You sounded great. Good, yeah, good to see you again. We first met at Folk City.
Yeah, between 1984 and 86, I believe. I was the house sound and light man for a place called Folk City in Greenwich Village, and you were stand-up.
Right. And
I used to cower in fear. I used to shrink behind the mixing console, you know, for fear that you'd recognize me and start hurling insults at me.
But I only did that to the paying customers.
Well, you did it to a lot of the waitresses, too.
Yeah. Well, it just, you know, it's just comedy, you know. It was lighthearted comedy. But let's talk about music. Now, how's the new album doing?
Oh, it's great. Initial sales are better than ever, better than the last album.
And how long did it take you to put this album together?
About 4 months.
4 months. Now, I read where your first album took you 10 days to put together.
Well, we were young and hungry in those days, Alan, and, you know.
Was that the reason why?
Now we're fat, old, rich rock cats, you know. We just take a lot longer to do things.
No, it's just that back then, I mean, the recording costs were so much, and we used to put out independent records, and we'd have to save the money from all the gigs and borrow money, so we had to go in and do it quickly as possible, and we took that same work ethic with us later on, and you know, that's why we did it like that.
Now, how did you guys hook up? How did you get started?
There was a local musicians paper on the East Coast, now called the East Coast Rocker, once known as the Aquarian. They had a free musicians classified. I had begun to write songs, and I was looking for musicians who thought the same musically as I did. Took an ad out, and the other three members of the group, Jimmy, Mike, and Dennis, responded. They'd been playing together for 10 years already, and I was sort of the missing piece of the puzzle, the songwriter, singer, frontman that they needed to complete the quartet. And it'll be 12 years in March, same members.
You guys spent a lot of time out on the road, or you used to. Was that by choice? Did you feel that was the only way to push the album? Why so much time?
Well, I mean, it still is the only way to do things properly. I mean, we're not the type of band whose records go platinum immediately. We have to get out there and work. And it's not just about doing the concerts and meeting people town to town. You do radio, you do in-stores, you do TV, and it's a very comprehensive thing. And we like to work, and it's a fact that you make money on the road as well.
Do you find that when you're out on the road, Jim, that you have more time to write? More downtime, less distractions?
I never did before, but there isn't much time on the road because, like Pat said, we're always doing interviews and whatnot. I've managed to write 2 songs recently on the road, but that's because we had a day off in Decorah, Iowa or something. We were snowbound. So.
Well, I mean, you've done one-nighters. You know what the routine is. I mean, if you do a tour bus thing, you see the inside of the bus, the inside of the hotel room, the dressing room, the venue, back on the bus. You know, it's the same thing all the time.
Yeah, but as a comedian, I can just go up and do my jokes. I can write material on a plane. I don't have to worry about 3 other guys or the percussionist pulling an attitude.
Yeah.
Not that your percussionist would. Well, mention the 2 gentlemen.
You don't have a Broadway Danny Rose guy? Like?
I do. I have 2 of them, but they're on both coasts. So I just try to stay in the middle. Now, who are the gentlemen playing with you? We should mention their names.
Dennis Dyken on drums and Mike Mazzaros on the bass guitar.
Now let's talk about the album cover. Was this your idea? If we can get a shot of this, Dave.
Well, you know, traditionally we've designed our own album covers and had the people at Capitol, our label, execute the final artwork. We were so involved with the recording process this time out that toward the deadline of when Capitol needed the final artwork, we had no ideas. We had been fans of a gentleman named Saul Bass, who we know from his work with Alfred Hitchcock. He designed the movie posters and the title sequences for North by Northwest, Vertigo.
Psycho?
He directed the shower sequence in Psycho, as well as doing the poster artwork for Spartacus, Exodus.
He directed the shower sequence in Psycho?
Yeah, he was Hitchcock's protege. And Hitchcock storyboarded everything and apparently gave it to Saul Bass, and he let him shoot the shower sequence in Psycho.
I think Hitchcock only changed 3 scenes and actually made it a little more violent because Saul didn't want the knife in there or anything.
Yeah, he told us about it.
Yeah.
Now, would Bernard Herrmann be an influence of yours? I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I'm at home, I tend to listen more to film composers like Bernard Herrmann and Ennio Morricone. or Nino Rota, things like that, than rock and roll. We tend to get a lot of rock and roll on the road, and it's what we do for a living. I mean, speaking for myself, I tend to listen more to things like Miles Davis and Thelonious Monk than rock and roll.
Okay, we're going to take a look at a video clip. You want to set this up for us?
Yeah, this was the first single from the new album Blow Up, and it's a song called Top of the Pops, and it was shot in and around Atlantic City, and the final sequence of it was done at Ivana Trump's High Roller Suite in the Trump Castle Hotel.
And Ivana's been an influence on your work as well, I think.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's take a look. Top of the Pops. The Smithereens, Top of the Pops there from their new CD. Now, who was the guy in the hammock? Just some retired guy you found down there?
Apparently he was an old man who was living under the pier. His daughter was there with him. And many of the extras or characters that you see in the video for Top of the Pops, most of them, in fact, are people that live there. And ironically, they were a lot more perceptive about what was going on than we gave them credit for initially. A few of them came up to us and thanked us for showing it like it was, as they said, pointing to the casinos and then pointing to the poverty in which they lived. And apparently there were a lot of promises made when they were sort of revitalizing Atlantic City that the local people, the residents, were going to be taken care of and that there'd be work for them, and that stuff was never provided.
That's the way that goes.
Yeah, but we're not trying to make that sort of statement in the video. It's there for you to see it if you have the eyes and ears to catch what's going on.
Before we go, Blow Up, is that from the Antonioni film, or?
Yeah.
You could say that.
Well, I don't want to give away too many secrets here.
See, the name of the band, Smithereens, actually means bits and pieces, or blown to pieces, so we sort of took that and sort of
it's just a
incorporated
name, really. We've stopped thinking about it. The last album was called Smithereens 11, which was taken from the Sinatra Rat Pack movie Ocean's 11. And it was also our third album.
We like to confuse people.
Yeah, well, we're going through Hitchcock, Sinatra.
It was our third album, and it had 10 songs, so we figured we'd call it Smithereens 11.
Who hasn't been an influence on you, Pat? Jim?
Oh, boy.
Jim Baker.
Okay. Okay. Well, listen, that's all we have time for. I want to thank you for coming by.
It's a good way to end it, right?
Really? The Smithereens, and we're going to go out to more of Top of the Pops, and I'll be right back after this.
Top